Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We are honored to have you here on our farm. A lot of things that you see around, I borrowed ideas from your farm. Every time I came to your farm, I was walking around, observing, and picking ideas, small ideas. So I'm so very thankful for that because it gave me the confidence to finish the work. We bought the farm 2.5 years ago, less than 3 years ago. And you can say we are thin. That's my wife and that's my son Farhan. And that's his one, he can't walk. So he had a small surgery. Dr. Nguku of Machakos did the surgery. He's very, very good. His wife is an anesthesiologist.
Yes.
Yeah, they work together.
All right, because I'm going to be doing the interviews to both of you. But many of you know Firozz. Firozz is a hands-on guy in this compound. He's the one who's done all the hands-on. Farhan, what did you do when your parents are here?
I guess I just help them with whatever they need.
And you travel a bit?
Yes, we're all travelers, big, long-time travelers. In fact, I brought all these things here to show you guys how we actually, take stuff. Whether it's a one-night camping trip or a 1 month camping trip.
And then Najma, maybe you have to say something about yourself. Maybe most of you know her because of a book that you're holding.
First, welcome to all of you, please. Thank you so much for coming, and we are very happy to see you all here. We have traveled ever since we have been married, and I think Farhan was only 17
How
years
long
old.
have you been married?
We've been married for 31 years.
Wow.
And ever since Farhan was born, he was cesarean, and then I used to take 17 days old. We were just Mount Longonot, we were climbing, and since then we never stopped. We have always been camping. That's how my books have come up also. I've written about 11 books, so few of them are just in the market now. Firozz was always a chauffeur for us, driving us everywhere. My children used to sit behind in the car hours and hours when I'm doing my photography. They'd climb trees and bring leaves or twigs or something, for me, and they'd, Mom, you this. So, it was like a family affair, all my books, and thank God, they are doing very well in the market and in international market also. So yeah, hard work pays. When we used to go to camping, I had to wash their clothes. I had to make sure they are clean all the time, boys. Cooking, doing my work, then go home again. There's a lot of work I had to do with my research also. So it was, when you're young, you can do a lot of stuff, yeah. So I did a lot of stuff. Till last year I did quite a bit of 3 books and everything. Yeah, so it's just that it was pleasure to be with always with the family, yeah, and we travel quite a lot. Yeah.
All right, so Firozz, take us through the journey of coming to, our theme today for everybody is retiring, reusing, repurposing, and coming to the land. And maybe the 3 of you, I know Riz, you're behind there, and you wish, you can shout it and tell us if you want to say something. We'll bring the mic to you. What got you to, when did you retire, according to you guys? And what made you come to Machakos?
Okay. Before I answer that, I can be with Najma in the car driving at 80 kilometers an hour, and she can spot all the leaves, all the flowers, what is in season, and she will tell me to stop. And this is true, 80 kilometers, and she has an eye for trees, shrubs, plants, flowers, when it is in flower, when it is in seed, because it's not a gift, it's practice.
I think it's also a gift as well. Both of them. Passion. Passion. Yes.
It's shopping.
Yeah,
That's it. So many times you think he's gifted, it's actually just practice at the end of the day. Okay. So this journey started because I cannot sit at home retired doing nothing. I need to move my hands, I need to do something. So I had to look for an opportunity to get out of Nairobi and keep busy. So this is part of it. For the family also, a place to come to spend weekends. Because we've been traveling all the time. Why travel so far away when you have a farm of your own, where you can put in some good time and make something out of it? If you were just traveling and not done this, then today you wouldn't be here and we would not be able to share what we're sharing. So I retired many years ago because I could not work anymore. The mental stress was too high. I told myself that I just want to leave work and just sit at home and do nothing. After that happened, I realized I couldn't sit at home and do nothing because I have to do something. So I still have a lot of difficulty in Nairobi not doing much because you put in so much habit. For 70 years, you put in habit to be busy and to be doing something and use time effectively, and then you become so good at it, and then you are expected to slow down. But it's so very difficult. And yet you could have so many things to do and you're not focused. So then again, you need again practice to zero in and figure out for yourself how to do this. It's very difficult. Very difficult. So if you don't plan early, you may find that all of a sudden you have all the money in the world and you have all the time in the world and you're depressed. Hi.
Are we learning? Because that's part of all this, part of the retiring, it's part of the reusing, it's part of coming to the land.
I'm a hands-on person. I know how to keep busy, and you have to figure out for yourself what makes you happy and how do you concentrate your mind. If you leave your mind open all day, you will go into depression because it has to go and sit somewhere. And you have to decide where do you want it to sit. So you have to make a list. You have to make a list and you have to zero in on what are you good at and what makes you happy and what is necessary to do. Like, there are things to be fixed in the house, that's the first things you do. Look for opportunities to just keep busy throughout your life. Keeping busy is very difficult for me because I don't have a business. I spent a lot of time in education. Now you cannot take education into retirement because it was not easy for me. I didn't want to. I was never good at it, by the way. I hated my job. What I wanted to do was welding, and I ended up behind an office. So it was very difficult for me to figure out what to do. If it was not for my family.
Okay.
Let it out. Okay.
It's okay.
You've done well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You're not accomplished.
And the fact that you're hosting and Najma and Farhan can take the mic at any time. So they're all here to help us out as you tell your story.
So there's a lot to talk. Before I say anything, I want to show you something.
Okay.
This is a high density sponge 1/2 inch, and I just wrapped it around. Somebody did it for me. So see what I'm doing with it. So here. Now. So see how I'm dragging myself. I'm using the carpet to pull. I'm using my legs to pull. And I'm arching my back in the opposite direction. Yeah? So just pull. Use your legs. And then slowly keep on going back. Keep on going. Now my head is touching, my bums are touching the ground. So you keep on doing it. Especially the stress in the neck is all taken away. If you do this before you sleep, you will sleep better.
Yeah.
And headaches, the minute you get a headache, you do this, it will go away.
Wow. A simple exercise that should be done every day. Every day.
Every day, 3 times a day, like whenever you're bored, you're stressed or you're depressed.
Yeah.
So what that is for his exercise for his back and for your back. So as you grow older, I think we all know what's the biggest thing with retiring and repurposing? Our own bodies. So when Mutimbi and I went for this what's it called? Human garage. And the first thing they teach you is actually how to use your own body to form your to heal yourself.
This one is for 300 shillings.
So Firozz has made a number of them and he's selling them for 300 shillings. It's got 40 of them, so one for each household. Right? So make sure you pay to him. Yeah? So we're learning their story. As you know, in KHS, every home we go to, we learn their story, then we go into the garden. Many times we forget that the story of the garden is also the story of the people. Right? So we don't separate that together because they're the same. You can't sort of talk about the land without talking about the people who live on the land. So we're hearing their story, and hopefully for you all, taking something, whatever it is that fits with you in your purpose and in your time. So maybe you can continue with the stuff you're doing.
So let Farhan take over.
Okay.
So I'm going to take you guys through basically how we travel. As you know, these books didn't just come about like that. We have made, oh my God, hundreds, if not more, trips. Everywhere from Nairobi to northern Kenya, to Ethiopia, to Malawi, Zambia, Rwanda, Burundi. My God.
By road.
By road, everything by road, yes. So, yeah, Congo. And my parents have been married, yes, for 30 years. I think these trays are 29 years old, at least.
No. Before we used to have baskets. Baskets.
But anyway, so this is the way a trip goes. Whether it's for one day or for 1 month, it doesn't matter. The tray is the same.
Okay.
The top tray here, this is the spice tray. It's got your salt, your pepper, whatever. Cutlery. And this is dedicated stuff. We're not grabbing this from the house every time. It sits in the store as is, and we just pick it up whenever we're going on safari.
It's got a label.
Every now and again we have to refill them, but that's about it. So yes, this we call the spice tray. It has everything from spices to soap to a sponge, clothes pegs, toothpicks. I mean, we can make a whole biryani with this, you know, like it's got everything, right? Whole spices,
Okay,
etc.
next box. So that
Next
goes
box.
with you for every trip.
Yeah, standard.
So, guys, sometimes we're so focused on trying to have the right cutlery to travel around, to stay in the right hotel. These guys, because I've known Firozz since they moved, these guys have got to stay in the cheapest hotel on the road. As long as they have their stuff.
2-star hotel or 1-star hotel. If we go 5-star, then how am I going to write my books? You know, like it's expensive.
If you go on 300 safaris, like how do you can't stay in a 5-star
Yeah,
hotel
we
every
do have
time.
this 20 safari. Even now. Even now, yeah. We just came back from Tanzania and Uganda. Wow. Yeah.
December, yeah.
Okay, what are these?
So the next tray.
Yeah.
This one has all the crockery and plates, cups, your frying pan, your sufriya, your kettle. It also has, okay, I guess one is fire starter, one is soap, one is oil, and a chili sauce bottle apparently.
So just one thing. This one, even before we married.
Yeah, that thing
that's
is.
the oldest one, you know, like that. And we have another one, 2 of them. And we love this one. Love your cooking too. Yeah.
So within this tray, we also have the utensils for cooking. So we have Nico, a pair of tongs, a knife, your chopping board, etc.
For 4 people.
Oh yeah, 4 plates, 4 cups, 4 bowls, etc.
And one extra tray we take it, where we take our empty one, where we just put our fruits, our vegetables, whatever we need to take, yeah. And then we have coolers we take with our meat, and which can last only for 3 days or 4 days. But we buy fresh stuff along the way. If it is longer trip, yeah.
The advantage of doing it like this is it's super quick to pack. You know, like it's in the store, it's all ready. You just put it in the car and go. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to plan anything. You already know your knife is in there, your oil is in there, whatever it is.
So I think for those also starting out on the land, this thing of having an excuse that you have not built, so you can't live on the land is just an excuse. Because you can just pack stuff. It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
Couldn't believe it.
It's a mindset in terms of how we think about the land. Just go in there and just start. And carry your on 2 tents. I saw them do, and I've seen many of some people here. A number of you have done it. You've been living that way. When we first came to see Firozz here, he wasn't even living in a house. He was living outside. Actually, I was more scared that the hyenas were going to eat him. Really, I was, by the way. I think we told him many times, come to our house, please, because I was scared of the hyenas eating him. Because he would sleep outside here, right over there. I even remember where he used to sleep, right? When we used to come at the beginning, when he was setting up this place from nothing. All these trees you see, there was nothing here. So just continue.
This is the tray of spares, I guess. So tow rope, jumper cables, first aid kit, panga, small inverter. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Oh yeah, slingshot. Panga. So
Many other things which we have looked at.
so sometimes you'll find when you're traveling to Tanzania by car, they ask you to present all of these things: a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, those red triangles. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. It's really annoying. So we have it all in the tray.
He said if you have a small one, they tell you it's
It's, the foldable one is not allowed apparently. So yeah. So and rope.
Rope is most important.
And rightfully so, because a lot of the furniture you see here, it's come from our random safaris, you know, on the side of the road, like these chairs and whatnot. How do you tie it to the roof, you know, without a rope? Moving on. So if we are camping, we have these mattresses, which are also 30 years old. So, yeah, give it a demonstration. So the mattresses are set up in pairs. So you see the little string on the end? It comes in pairs. So your second mattress gets tied to this. So it's full body. It just makes it easier.
You don't need to.
But you don't need to.
See
Exactly.
what I'm doing? You need your bumps and your
I
back.
need two. I used to sleep in one, but now I have two.
If your legs are not on the sponge, it's okay.
Do you have the sleeping bag?
Bumps have to be on the
So you sleep with your shoes on.
No, you're in a tent.
You're inside the tent.
Inside a tent. Oh, okay, go on. Go on, Frank.
Is there anything else?
I think
No, I think that's it from me.
So Najma, I'd like to tell them some of your journeys of all of you. Maybe Najma can share. I know because I know your stories even through Kenya. Some of the things that you've done as you drive. You've driven a lot. I think if there's a family that knows this country by the back of their hands, it's probably this family here. I always hear their stories of all the back routes they're using on driving, even to Nandi, places that we've never been. So we are going to be planning in September as KHS. We are going to be on the road with them. All of us. So we will be asking you to take away 3 days of your time because we cannot do it in less than we've tried 2 days, it can work. So 3 days will probably be your time, and just see the road and see the country and see nature. Land this country and see nature. KHS is about nature. We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Some of us might never camp if we don't camp with us.
All right, so let's talk us, Najma and Farhan. Maybe Najma can take us through some of the places and how you drive and what you do.
We know this is the route we are going, like Homa Bay we are going. So let's put it that way, yeah? Okay. So last time when we went to Homa Bay, just during New Year's we went, yeah. So we didn't have anything in mind, but I had one thing in my mind that I wanted to go to World Heritage Site, which is in Migori County. It's a new World Heritage Site which is in Kenya. Through UNICEF, it has been designated as a World Heritage Site. 2018, I think that's the last one, yeah. So we went to Migori, and so we said, okay, now we are coming back through Mwanza and Moshi when finishing our trip from Uganda, and then we're coming back through that. So we said, okay, we will go to Homa Bay, this region we are going to go because we have to go and see that. So this is how we instantly we then we do this, but sometimes we also plan like in that area, Nandi area, we sometimes go to Bagoria, Baringo. We start with Nakuru National Park always because that's where I did my work, PhD. I did it. Stayed there, it's like a home for me always. So we always go there.
And when she says she stays in a camp, not in a hotel.
Yes. So yeah, I used to have with the lions and black rhinos working with them, together. Yeah. So it was beautiful. So we always go past through that, and then from there we either take Aldama Ravine Road, or we take even in Aldama Ravine we stay in a smaller hotel if we have to, or we take Cabernet Road, yeah, because they are so scenic both of them. And then that's one of my favorite routes. We take that one, and then you see all the forest, Nandi forest, not Nandi forest, sorry. Tugan hills
But
and
it's
forest.
Monica's tribe, but she doesn't know.
Sorry, Tugan hills are my favorite. Yeah. Nandi is good. Nandi is another side, but Tugan we take that one, and then we go. Yeah, Tugan hills. You are seeing the forest, and then you are coming down after Cabernet to Algio Marakwet. There you see Lake Komnarok, which is very beautiful lake. One time, elephant used to come so many. We have camped there also on Lake Komnarok also, and there is a bird's paradise actually. It's a bird's paradise. I have to tell you that. He's carrying to the camera and he's not seeing any birds.
Where is the Whydah?
Oh yeah. April. Why
Oh, we did see the Whydah today when we were coming in.
Oh, pintail.
The pintail.
Pintail.
Just now when we were at the corner there. In fact, Marcos tried to tell me, stop.
Not the strata.
Not the structure.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, from there we stay in the valley first, always, and then we go up to Iten, and then we stay in Iten to see from up the valley also, beautiful valley also. And then we go to Charangani Hills, Charangani Forest, we go do that thing, and from there we go to Nandi Forest, Nandi South, Nandi North Forest, then we go to Kakamega Forest. And that's where we stay there, end up. Then from there we take Kericho, Kisumudet Road, and then come back through that road. That is just one trip.
That being said, Kakamega Forest is another
It's one
gem
of the best forests
in Kenya.
Yeah. So most of a lot of work which in medicinal I have done is also in Kakamega, but throughout the country, East Africa, I've done on medicinals and.
Who has a book with trees in East Africa? I have mine, but I think it's somewhere there.
I have a question.
Who has a book with them? Medicinal trees around
The
here?
trip to
Yeah.
Lusaka, to Victoria Falls, if I can put it that way, the 3 weeks, 6 weeks, right?
62 months. We went
Yeah.
a little longer, yeah.
How much does it cost?
Maybe you can answer that.
I believe it costs so little.
So
If you're conservative, 10,000 shillings
Including fuel?
Per day.
per day.
Oh, per day.
Sometimes you need more, yeah.
Per day.
Sometimes you need more, depending on where you are staying. 10,000 shillings per day.
Because they're not staying in hotels, they're camping, they're not eating
So
anywhere.
that includes fuel, includes insurance to enter another country. It includes maybe more.
No, it's a rough estimate, and it's about right. Because there's some days where you're spending much less. You're spending 2 nights, say, in one place.
Yeah.
The cost is only accommodation. Then you're not driving. Then
Fuel is the biggest cost.
well,
Is it?
I'd say fuel is yes more than anything, and then you can combine accommodation and food in a separate category, but it depends.
Because you're buying from them just around and then
Yeah.
cooking for yourselves.
But it's a very basic trip, eh?
Yes.
People who likes,
But
more than
this Zambia trip, we camped only where necessary.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we found a cheap. There's hotels.
very
everywhere.
nice hotels, even smaller.
Every day we are in a new place,
Yeah.
and it takes us how long to find a hotel?
Yeah, that maybe an hour.
Half an hour many times.
1 hour.
Less most.
Because
you're
it's just a bed,
Yeah.
right? Because the next day you're leaving anyway.
Yeah.
Bed, bathroom, nice shower, hot
And I think
shower.
that's the important. I remember when Mark and I were building at the coast, I used to carry sheets in my bag and nestles, and then I would sleep in the cheapest place, and we would just lay our sheets so that I'm feeling like they're my own sheets. But the cost we were paying for the hotel was like 800 bob
Yeah,
to
yeah.
sleep. I wasn't making just to sleep, and I used to count cement. So I used to count bags of cement. When you're building, you used to count bags of cement. Like, what? That's one bag already. 600 bob is a bag of cement. So I think what we're trying to say and what the Firozz are giving us is a mental frame for living on the land. It's just a mentality. If you're waiting for the biggest house somewhere, that's up to you. But you can actually begin to work on the land as they have seen. Maybe Firozz, you could also take us through some of the things you've done in repurposing, tinkering around. We're gonna walk around, I know, but maybe talk about them now.
Okay. One last thing about traveling. 1,000 shillings is accommodation fees. No, call it 1,000 per person on the high side. Many times it's only 2,000 for 4 of us because it's 3,000 on the high side.
Another thing,
And very good accommodation, by the way. Very nice, clean toilets inside your room, and there's always a place to eat. A kiosk nearby. You just ask. People are very, very good. I think that should be the first thing that should have been said.
People in Africa are the best people in the world.
They will never let you down. They will always share. Unconditionally. Once in a while you may get a conman. But those conmen are only when you reach Nairobi.
I think you've partially answered my question. I have 2 questions, but you've partially answered one. I was going to ask you, when you're going, into the unbeaten path and places where you're not sure of where you're going, how do you ensure your safety? And then, number 2, how do you deal with car breakdowns and stuff like that?
Okay, so very, very good questions. First question, safety. You shouldn't have any fear. There is no problems out there. The problem is only with you. There is nobody waiting for you to steal from. And we have this big problem with safety. The first question I'm always asked is for safety. But there's a lot, we never spend even 1 second on safety.
and nothing has ever happened. Ever.
And this is another good question. If your car breaks down, this is Africa. There is a mechanic waiting around the corner. Always, there is a mechanic waiting around the corner. And you just... the car is broken, you get down, you wait. He'll come. He'll come. You don't have to go looking for him, he'll come.
Another important thing to mention though is the infrastructure in and around East Africa has improved drastically. When we were traveling 20 years ago, that was a different story. Now it's carpet all the way to Turkana, So driving to Malawi, I think we did only 50 kilometers of rough road over 6,000 kilometers, So it's...
Roads are really good.
Question.
So, do you have a book coming out of those routes, places to stay?
A guidebook. A guide.
That would be wonderful.
So, unfortunately, we have not recorded anything.
No, we have photographs and everything.
Physically, we've never...
It's their lifestyle.
We don't have a blog. This is a lifestyle. I will ask Farhan how many times we've been to Lake Nebasha camping.
100 times.
100 times.
Lake Magadi, 80 times.
80 times. Lake Nakuru, 100 times. So this is lifestyle.
I know.
There's no...
That's your book.
Yeah, that should be my.
David?
Yes, thank you. It's very encouraging what you say, and I think your attitude is very important. It's positive, and then when you think positively, you get positive things happening to you. Just one thing I would like to ask: you do all these cross-border. There's nothing I fear more than customs immigration officials. I think all of us shake when we see them.
It takes 1 hour to cross
been?
any one border, more or less. And Farhan will say more.
Yeah, I can't believe this. Actually, all the questions that we anticipated that were going to come have been asked. So, immigration. So, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia. Okay, it's relative, I guess. It depends which border you're going through. We use this app. It's called iOverlander. Have you heard of it? So it's an app you get on the Play Store. It's a software that lots of other travelers use and give their sort of their comments, and there will be a pin at basically all these border posts, and you read them and you sort of just figure it out from there. It'll tell you whether it was a terrible experience or a good experience, or you must find somebody there to guide you. You know, the border crossings themselves are all pretty standard now. They keep calling it a one-stop border. So you have one building, everything is done in there. So it's happened before where, you know, you just walk in, you'll have so many people coming to you saying, oh, do you need some help? Do you need some help? Step one, go inside there and see what's happening. Then you can always come back out and then, you know, negotiate a price or something.
You don't have to pay any money to anybody because you're not trading, there's nothing you're carrying.
And if you are traveling in East Africa area, I'd advise you get COMESA in Nairobi right to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bad idea. We made a big mistake not getting COMESA once when we were going to Zambia. We had to keep getting third-party insurance. Terrible idea. Like, just get COMESA.
How much is COMESA? 5,000 for 3 months.
3 months, something like
The
that.
third party, that's okay.
I just want to comment. You know, there was reading somewhere when you get into retirement, you commercialize what you enjoy doing. You write the equivalent of a Michelin book or an Aya. You can commercialize it. Najma can.
But is any books? I think what is
Next generation. You guys should do the vlog. Put it to the next generation.
Riz and Farhan, up to you guys to take your parents' travels to the next place for the rest of us.
One last thing. So when we are traveling, and if you are, I gave you a budget of 10,000, but if you are alcoholic like us, so you need to add next.
I have one question. I haven't seen water bottles. What do you do with it for water?
Water is available.
It's available. So you don't really carry.
Food and water you should never carry. There's food.
And you're always passing some major town. Like, for example, if you're going to Turkana, before you reach Turkana, which is just a desert, there's Lodwar and there's just
Loingalani.
We go to Uganda and on Kampala or Tororo or those towns, yeah. We look for nyama choma in the evening and chapatis, and then we find all those hot stuff, matoke and chapo and Rolex and all that. And we eat those things, you know, like whatever is available.
I should tell you, did we ever get a stomach upset?
Never. Wow.
So if you want microbes transplanted, you take it from us.
All right, Farhan. Okay, last question.
How about traveling? Two ladies.
It's very easy.
It's also again safe for women traveling. Do you see women traveling alone?
Oh, yeah. I travel alone.
Definitely. I mean,
But I travel, even take my car to Kilifi myself. Yeah.
As I said, people very good everywhere. Just remember that.
A lot of learning, right? So that same personality of Firozz and Najma and Farhan and Riz is the personality of this land. And you need to understand that. Because you're not going to understand the land and their choice without understanding them. You'll just be driving and saying, what's wrong with these people? Hawajapanda mahindi. And they've not done.
Their neighbors are
right? So you have to understand their personality to then understand the piece of land in front of them and understand that they're really planting for wildlife and everything. Now take us through the journey of starting on this land.
If you ever buy a piece of land, first thing you go out there and say hello to it. As simple as that, and automatically you sold a very big profit.
I think that's the best thing, isn't it?
Make yourself accessible.
We have very good neighbors. Everybody's so good. Everybody.
But that's also because you've gone out of your way to introduce yourself.
If you don't have good neighbors, sell the land and move somewhere else.
Okay, so take us through how you settled on the land, what you did, what was your first thing?
So keeping the shape of the land the way it is, without moving any soil, was very important because I saw ripples on the land. I saw the way the water was moving on the land. This was not plowed land. This was kind of a grassland. The farmer never spent any time on it. There was no termites, hills full of termites.
I mean, this land was also purchased. I mean, most of the trees you see here right now, the big ones, were existing.
Can you talk about the building itself so that people, when they walk there, because there are many, I think it's better to, let's step by step. You have on this, the first building here is
Kyoko's house. We call it Kyoko's house. And
wait, when we talk about it, you will go and see what you'll go and see.
look at the ventilation. Look at how the roof is not getting very. The area is cool. Yet it is mabati. Look at blue gum. The whole thing is built in blue gum. There is no street. There is no plain wood. The best part there is the kitchen. You must see the kitchen properly.
And it's also been Firozz and Najma's kitchen for the longest time.
I love this kitchen still.
Yeah, okay.
So look at the meko. You know the gas meko? There is a small handle that I have welded. Have a look at that. It's small thing. Look at the knife stands. How I'm keeping knives. Small details you need to. So don't be afraid to open any door or any cupboard to see what is.
We have nothing.
It's basically empty. By the way, that's another thing. Hoarding. So all these materials that you see is all lined up. Yeah. Any material I didn't use, I give it away for free. I ship it and I take it away to the farmer or wherever. All the time I'm giving away things which I know I'm not going to use. And then I find once in a while that I gave away something that I wanted to use. Don't stress, go and buy it. It's a very big problem because your mind will get blocked. You will die. With all those things sitting in the house. Out there and go. The problem is with you.
Have you taken away so far?
But that's serious.
It's never that serious. It's never that serious. Just go in and cultivate, camp and eat whatever is there.
Always be prepared.
Always, yeah.
The fun is in the journey.
Yes.
After having built this, my fun is almost finished. I'm looking for something else. The journey is so very important, and the thinking that goes into it is the fun part.
All right. So then we finished so if you go to the 2 rooms, so there's a kitchen there in the house, have a look at it. It's also a good lesson on building for your staff and giving them a good place to stay. So the first thing you do when you take on a piece of land is also making sure that your staff are staying well. And so, yes, you want to talk about that?
No, that's another most important. Number one is the person you employ. If you are not looking after him, if he's not happy, you will not be here. He'll make your life miserable. And to provide for him.
So I think the first one is the staff, and then the kitchen where they've been using, for the longest time they've been using that kitchen. It's where we've had our teas whenever we come visiting. And it's right out. And have a look at how it's arranged. The neatness and the organization that Firozz is very, very, what's the word? Meticulous, yes. Your son has used the word.
We built this beautiful house here, but where do we spend all our time? Still in the
Talk about this. You've got the next room next to you is all your gadgets.
tool.
All your tools. So have a look at how he's organized all his tools in this compound. It's as you walk around, really neat, and then asking questions and literally even the nails to a T. You know, are organized in a bottle. Don't laugh, it's for real. Like even the nails, every nail, used nails, non-used nails, everything. Really good learning lessons there. Then we move to the they've used. I think is that a balanitis tree? I think it's a balanitis. Huh?
So between the two houses.
Balanitis tree. We are going to be naming all the trees. We're going to try. Acacia trees are like 40 types. Just don't look at the acacia tree and see it's the same tree. These trees are all different. The one person that shocked me today was David. He came and he said, I'm standing under a Geraldine. Acacia Gerardii.
We don't have
Is it
Gerardii.
Gerardii? What was it? What did you say? Something. CIL. Over there. So just planting the trees, because then these are trees of, this region. Know the trees. And don't look at them and say, that's an acacia. It's like saying that's a parcel. Think about plants that way, and you'll change your mindset about how you want to learn the names. That's the best way to say, that's a parcel? No, it's not. They've got a name. Then ask yourself, what's the name? And then you'll begin to learn. So we'll be looking at those trees as we go around, but then maybe talk about, so you've got a veranda outside there where you sit under the trees. Have a look at how he's designed that. It has a lot of wind flowing, and he's done something for it. Look at how he's done his wood pile and everything. And then we go to the house. When you walk around the house, what do you see? The first thing, that wall, what do you see there?
Mabati.
It's not mabati. That wall that you see that's white is not mabati. It's creativity of Firozz. Ask him what it is.
You will figure out. You go.
So feel it. Figure out what is it built by.
Put your hands around it. And you'll know what
Also go up, which is also nice.
And then go up. It says go around the house. They've opened their house to us to see how they live as a camping lifestyle. He's made sure he did not want to take off the tree, so the tree is built. The tree is inside the house, right? So it's built in the house. Walk around, see how simple they live, and they love it.
We don't have fridge.
Yes.
We don't have microwave.
There's no microwave, there's no fridge, and there's no TV.
Yes.
No TV.
Okay. So see how they live and walk around. See Firozz's creativity with building. He's really tried. I remember Mark and him would be here all the time talking about it, and I would be bored to my legs because I'm like, this is a guy thing maybe, but it's not a guy thing. It's everybody's thing. How to figure out how to build like that wall with I don't know how many inch small. So ask all those questions. Ask all. I'm not the technical person. Mark maybe should be done explaining these things. Firozz is here. He'll explain them. So Firozz, can you explain for everybody?
Yeah, so two things before I go. I've made a list of welders, motor mechanics, carpenters, solar guy, a list of all the fundies that work here, and I recommend and name and telephone. Every single kind of fundi.
Split up, and then we'll change turns. One group will go with Firozz, and we'll do all the handiwork. One group will go with Najma, and we go around the trees. And then we'll exchange. And then the next group that went with Firozz goes with Firozz, and then the group that went with, you get my point, right? Yeah. So half of us split. One with Firozz, and Najma will carry the mic and will carry, because Firozz will be closer, those are closer, and we'll be going around the land. Come with your book and let's see what they planted. She's added lots of trees, and that's we'll just walk around and just get to know, and then others go with Firozz, and then we come back and meet up and exchange. Okay.
It's just I had to come up with some design. Yeah. Black cotton soil is always a problem. Your gate will stick. So if you have this center part, you see this thing locks it. I mean, even if your soil is going to move, it has to come back to this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have this, then this will not match. This must match. Let the gap increase, but this must match all the time. I think when anybody comes, automatically. Yeah, a little bit of. Okay, finished. Other thing, when I bought the land, the fence was already there. I improved on it. In my mind, saying that I must protect this wood. Okay. So everywhere, and it must be of a certain height. It is a sickness of the mind. That everything must be perfect, everything should be in line. And then go to Machakos, I must pass by to see what they are selling, and this is something I picked up. Could be during colonial times, this was a cart, it is broken, and it's a showpiece. It's a little technical, you have to follow and ask questions. Can you think what's happening here? Think.
The ball valve is lifting?
Yeah, so floating.
Yeah, floating.
The other end is floating in the tank. But if it was floating, and it's a Coca-Cola plastic bottle with sand in it, you need to give it a little weight. But that bottle can float away to the other side of the tank and give me a wrong reading. How do I control that?
It's in a pipe.
Pipe. 3-inch pipe. You see it is tied up there. Can you see one bolt?
Yeah.
Right. The other end, how do I hold it? So one end of the pipe is held. How do I hold the other end?
put it
Because
inside.
if I was to do a bolt here, then that's a problem. So how do I hold it?
Put sand in a
No. Try
stone.
one. I have supported it on the other side with another small pipe. This 3-inch
there's a
pipe and this is one end.
across.
Just to hold it because it's not doing any work. Because you don't want a situation whereby the
It is just swinging.
yeah, it's floating. Unless you can lock it. And then that 3-inch pipe must have holes.
Yeah.
To allow water.
Yeah,
through.
so that the water level doesn't get trapped. Are you with me so far? Any questions?
If I have enough weight and the pivot is hanging at the right place, what would make it swing? I mean, the gravity should be just a direct drop.
That would be best if you can lock it in properly.
No, but I mean, gravity itself will make it not go that way.
No. You know, these things can move. I don't know why, but you don't want to take a chance. Oh, sorry, you're talking of the floater?
Yeah, the floater itself.
No,
if it's weighty
it'll
enough.
float. It'll float.
Buoyancy.
Because the tank is deep.
Yeah, because it's free to float
Yeah,
anywhere.
it's all over the place.
It'll float. Why would it stay? Gravity, but it's floating in water. It's a good question. Why would it not? Why would it stay in one place? It'll float.
And especially like if you have that inlet
Because,
on that side, it'll always
because
be
of this weight here. So this would keep it right at the top with some
the
tension.
But the string is long. Like, you know, the string, it'll not work.
Okay. Because I thought the slack is being taken up with the
Counterweight.
The counterweight.
Only when it is full, it may stay closer to the
tank.
Yeah. Otherwise, the minute it is empty, why would it not go and float on the other side?
Okay.
But it's a good question. Very nice. That bearing, the bearing is just a car ordinary bearing. I went and I said, give me some bearings, and he gave me 2 bearings, and I put a wire around the other 2, this side.
Extra one. We can buy. No, the whole fabricated thing.
I have. I built 10. I've already sold 2. There are 8 units like that.
Awesome.
With this chuma, with a string.
Nice.
But I recommend that you use the welder that I'm using to install it. If you don't do it yourself.
Okay.
And when you invite him,
water in the tank. I have to empty it.
you must empty it.
If you're going to do
He must get inside it. He must be able to put that bolt inside. He must be able to put that pipe that I'm asking you to put. And it must be done correctly, otherwise all the time you will be spending time and you will never get the read. So if I'm sitting at Kyoko's, just I can see where the water is. I talk to Kyoko on phone, I says how much water, he doesn't tell me how much, he sends me a photo.
Carrying this.
So, half liter of Coca-Cola bottle plastic. You put in so much sand. Chalo will know how much sand to put and
calibrate.
And he will know how much to balance. If it is not in balance, there are some washers that you add here. It may become too heavy. You know, it can. This can become too heavy.
Yep.
And the bottle may never sink.
Yep.
So there's a little bit of balance required.
I note that you have black alluvial, but this is red soil. What happened here and why?
So the cracking. There was a big space here. So basically, I built this wall from foundation. I kept on turning, putting my stones in and filling it.
So inside there has red soil and stones.
And then this is a slab. So even if the rest can't carry it,
that one will hold.
Should be able to carry it with not so much chuma. And height is very important. Otherwise, it will not reach.
Outside.
Have you understood? This is HDPE pipes.
Yeah. That's 2 inch.
1.5. And very easy. Even somebody who is not technical can do this kind of plumbing. I never employed a plumber. There is no heat required. There is no. But they are expensive. These things are expensive, and then they must be heat UV protected. So you need to be careful. Here, just come behind here. So look at this ladder. It is just blue gum, but to climb up. Did you see how I've locked it? With a little chuma, there's a little lock.
Oh, so that it doesn't
when you're
swing.
climbing, it doesn't follow.
Yeah.
And the weight is off the
And here, it is sitting on some metal.
Oh, okay.
So the termites don't eat it. Something very simple. I've not used this for 1 full year. And yet you can see that it's holding nicely. That's the beauty of blue gum. I love blue gum. It's very nice wood.
Why do you need to keep going up there?
Always, you must have a ladder every time, permanently. You can't move it. I can't move this. Because there is always maintenance required. There is always, you must open the place up once a year just to see how many dead rats you have. This outlet goes to the house. The other outlet goes to the land. So, any questions here? There's an electrical wire going from here to there.
The solar. That is to the solar.
To the solar. The pump is pushing through here into there. So the water doesn't go through gravity there. It only enters here. This little bit of chuma work. These things. These labels are very important. Yeah.
So when it's empty, that's when you call the person on the other side to pump.
So Kyoko, just on phone, we say we are ready to receive water. So he fills his tank up and we receive water.
How much are they selling per cubic meter?
200 shillings a cubic meter.
200
cubic meter. So what happened is we would not use water, but our meter would show that we've used a lot of water.
And how long will it take if you fill in the 10,000?
I'm not using much.
So it may take a month or two?
Yeah, call it a month. The dry season I use a lot more. Wet season I don't, because all my rainwater is coming back.
It's coming back here.
Yeah. So that line is there, coming back.
Oh, okay.
This line is taking water. This line is pushing water. Everything has a line of its own. Okay, so question to you guys. There was a month we didn't use any water. Yet I had to pay some very big amount. And
you had to pay a big amount of what? Water?
Money. Yeah, water bill. Yet I didn't receive the water. Why? How could that have happened?
Maintenance?
Seepage or something. Good question. That's good answer, but there's another answer.
Was it?
Or maybe your neighbor did a bypass.
What is it? That's the answer. So there was some kind of a pressure wind coming and running the meter.
Oh, that's terrible.
Because it's a long distance, you don't know how these things are working. It could be I am creating it myself. Heat could be doing it. I don't know what. So then we had to improvise something else. I put a tap that every time I have to make sure there is water before I allow water to come in. And then again I have to close it. This before the meter.
And then how do you keep this intact? Did you already say that? The tank. It's in the ground, but
it's an underground tank, specifically built.
No. If it starts having a leak, you just dig it out and
the material here is this thick. You can. It's an expensive
most
tank.
people dig and then build a little thing and then.
No, for ordinary tanks. You don't build anything for this.
Yeah, this I'm saying.
The underground tanks is.
So this is just in the soil.
Otherwise you can't call it underground.
No, I'm saying it's in the soil.
It's inside the soil. And there is soil, black cotton soil pushing it like nobody's business, and there is no problem.
Even when
And the
it's
brand?
empty.
Yeah, that's like
The thickness, I couldn't believe the thickness.
So this is
Half an inch.
specifically for
underground.
Yeah. Top tank, there's all kind of tanks. I mean, there's a big price difference between
The underground and
like an underground tank would cost 2 times more than
the normal tank.
Okay.
Because it's designed. Do you see this curvature? Do you see the curvature? Do you see these things?
I see.
This is giving
I
a
didn't
lot of
understand.
strength. Yeah.
Now I understand. There's two. Underground is different. Absolutely. I didn't know that.
2 times more.
And what brand?
So 5,000.
I think it's this is 5,000. 5,000.
I know you probably don't have an answer. Why do they make tanks black? Yet black attracts a lot of heat and damages the tank. Why don't they make them?
I think it's something to do with UV protection. Something to do with UV protection. Number two, maybe by putting white it costs more money. But you've got a good point. Nowadays I see blue and
white.
For paint.
Yeah.
For reflecting.
Don't forget one thing. The guarantee on these tanks are 35 years.
What?
Yeah. But it must have water all the time. The day your tank collapses, after 30 years, you go to them, they'll say the cause was that there was no water in the tank.
You can't prove it.
Inside it's constructed. There's something concrete underneath.
Yeah. Otherwise it
will shake, keep shaking. Okay.
I have. This is just the water.
Only for water, only just here and no. This is 1.5 inch pipe. I wanted to reduce it to 3 quarters. Look at what I had to do. So I had to make a display out of it for people, to tell people how foolish, how stupid this is. There should be an immediate, there should have been a reducer from here to this, and then I had to do all this. I made some kind of string, it didn't work, then I again tied them up, I put it here, again I will use it for something. This is just bark. We use it for firewood or something. Oh yeah, on this side, you notice that I have pegs, 1 feet peg, 2 feet peg, 3 feet peg, 4 feet peg. Because
putting the
just yeah. So when Kyoko needs something, he doesn't have to go looking and cutting. Everything is ready. All the waste is there. I mean, this was all very much full while I was constructing. Now I'm kind of finishing. This is now this is all that will remain. See how the poles are tied up? See how the poles are tied? If I keep it here, I know I will use it somewhere. If I am not going to use it in 1 year time, I give it away. Hardwood, they are amazing. I made a bed out of it, so you'll see. So this is coffee. This is the white people probably grew this coffee, and then this is very, very old coffee, maybe 100 years old. Wow! And this is all hardwood. Termites can't eat it, and it's very good for the till I die, and it will still stay. But get somebody to what do you think? And look at each piece. Look at the beauty of each piece. You cannot duplicate it. You can't remove it. Where am I going to get this lady?
What's your purpose for it?
Where is it used? Yes. To burn. They're sold to schools for cooking food. That's what they're used for.
What are you planning to use it for?
What am I planning to do? So I've made a bed with 4 posts. That's just a start. All my furniture, something or the other will come out of it. Wow. So even if you have something, wherever I travel, I pick up a little piece of wood, I keep it here, then I use it somewhere or the other. Displayed what is left over. I'll keep it for a year and then I'll give it away. Because I know that the day I need an extra tile, I'll go and buy a packet. Because looking after it, let somebody else use it while it is usable. Single piece of wood comes there, it's used.
Oh, you can buy bags of sand?
Yeah. Then, so one wheelbarrow is 150 shillings. It is cheaper to buy a lorry, but if you don't need so much sand, then looking after it is also difficult. Now this is all my waste. So all the waste pieces come here, they are again welded and they are placed as a good material. First piece of material that I'll use is the ones that I have joined. And very easily they can be 10 joints in one line. It costs me more money to do all this joining than to buy new material. But why do I do it? I come from poverty. Food at home. Tool now.
Yeah.
Such a simple thing. So you have these 2-3 sizes, and then they just. Okay, so now this barbed wire to look after is very difficult. People get cut all the time, and then this has been sitting here for the last 1-2 years. See how it is sitting nicely. If you want to change it, you pick this up. It comes out from here. See this again. You pick it out. You remove one end, and you put in a new one, and you put it back. Wow. It's a very simple tool. There's no, when you're pulling, it's not falling down. Because these are the rollers. This is those stands. Just now you put your washers here. See, if you want more weights, you just put little chumas here. So this, it's all. No welder, like if the welder doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't understand this, he will not be able to install it. Only now, this is, what is this?
Looks like a rim.
Rim of a truck.
Yes.
And this was manufactured here in Grover, this thing. Then I realized I needed a smaller one. Then I had to put this small extension for small things. Then what is holding it? A pipe. Then this. So, and there is this, it will stay forever. Your children will inherit this. It's but it all costs money. It's this table. The table has got a block board underneath. It's a sheet metal 16 gauge. So this is, and under here there are sockets. Here there are sockets connected to solar. I can use my drill. Same solar.
That one?
No. There's another smaller. If you look at the size of this solar, you won't believe it. I've used drill, blower, no grinder. Extremely small solar. So this runs on generator. Look at this tube light. This is just a pipe. Simple. And it works. This is what do you call it? Level. Oh, you measure your height. What do you call this in your language?
Water level.
What? Hose pipe. So the mason will use this to measure. So why did I put it in here? Because every time I wanted to use it, I would find knots. Knots, you can't look after it. So one bucket, you cut this. I put some little chuma work to hold it. See, I have held it. So now there is no knot. This can last for much longer. And then when they are using it and there is water, they lock it here. They put this hose pipe enters here and here. So water does not come out. And then you lift this up a little bit. The pipe is down, you've used it, they are going to use it the next day, then they don't need to roll it again, they don't need to remove the pipe. That is Rizwan.
So actually this is the first one.
They say that the soil for this side that you have to dig in, you have to put stones.
Yeah.
You had to?
Yeah.
And how was it?
It was fine. It works.
Huh?
It works.
It works. No, I'm talking about the costs.
Oh, not cheap. There's a foundation and everything. But these were the first things we built.
That's what you started with.
But we realized it's not entirely necessary, especially for a structure this small. Something like this, maybe. Something like that, yes.
Yes. But no, because like right now when you are coming, you needed to use, maybe someone needed to use a bathroom. You needed this.
Yes. As in, this was our bathroom for the longest time.
For the longest time.
But there's no access to water. For example, there was a bucket.
So, but that side you have done one.
Yeah. There now we have a proper
Biodigester. What are the costs for that? Around here, company?
No, what we did was I found a guy who builds a biodigester for you for 65,000, something like that. But it's a 1 cubic meter. It's not a very big one. 1 cubic meter. And he'll come. He already has the foam work. You just tell him where you want it. And you dig the hole.
Oh, you dig the hole? Does it?
Yeah.
He just comes and sets up.
You say, here's the hole. Do it. and you set it up. My dad will show you when you go around there, the side of the house.
Yeah. And how was it before you moved to the bigger house, or what made you?
This was just built, a store and a room. So, and the kitchen out here. So we would squeeze in, and I mean, one of us would set up a tent if
If it comes to that,
yeah, if we came.
Oh, okay. But at least one person at least was assured of sleeping in.
And now Kyo stays here, caretaker. That's the store for all the tools and stuff. You see it.
Yeah. This is very meticulous.
Yes. I want to create a good space where I like the saws, I like the bending thing. So this will be inside, but combining the saws together with the circular saws for wood and everything else. And I use one chair. Yeah, it's a workshop. It's a workshop. Workshop comes from. Yes. Akuja pale pale.
I have a cabinet.
A cabinet.